All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready for this, Giles.
This week, I have the absolute utmost pleasure of interviewing Emma Barclay-Watt, arguably the best Barclay-Watt of the whole lot. So, Emma, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am married to Andy. I have two kids, Joshua and Anna, who are two of my favourite people, obviously, with Andy. And I originally come from Plymouth. I've lived in North Wales, I've lived in
Yo.
Manchester. Yeah, North Wales was lovely.
Yes, it was.
I studied religious studies at university and haven't really used that degree, just like a whole load of people in life. And that's me, probably. I like sailing. I used to be a really keen sailor, and now I'm a semi-keen runner.
I think coming from Plymouth, I'm not sure if you had a choice in the sailing matter, did you?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Too much opportunity.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to know Jesus?
Yeah, I grew up in a family who no one went to church, but we all thought we were Christians, and I kind of bumped into Christianity through a friend at school, and I had assumed that everyone in the whole of the UK was a Christian unless they opted out. And she informed me that that wasn't the case, that there was more. And actually, as I got to know her and I read a few books, I really wanted that more and started really a journey. It was quite a long journey to becoming a Christian. Lots of kind of going forward when there was an altar call, and again going forward another time because I wasn't sure whether I was really a Christian yet. So lots and lots of responses to calls to follow Jesus, and then it probably landed when I went to university.
That's awesome.
That's about it.
So, what are some of the highlights of your walk with God?
Do you know what? Probably the biggest highlights have been around encounter weekends. I've had the privilege of leading encounter weekends, and I have just seeing people get set free from things that have held them back, or lies that they've lived under for years. Those are probably the biggest highlights actually of my Christian walk. There's nothing quite like seeing Jesus set someone free.
I mean, the women's encounter weekends always look a lot more fun than the men's encounter weekends, you know?
It's because they're full of women.
Yeah, and them's my peeps, you know? Don't understand blokes. I don't get how they work out. So, what are some of the cliches you have encountered since you've been in serving God?
Do you know what? Probably early on was a conversation with somebody who, early on in my married life. So lots of the cliches around being married to a church leader. Probably around people thinking that somehow our marriage is going to be different to every other marriage. Mm-hmm. So somebody once came up to me and conspiratorially into my ear said, "Can you tell me what it's like being married to a pastor?" And I remember thinking, I haven't got another marriage to compare it to. So I don't know. And I didn't really marry a pastor or a church leader. I married Andy, and that's what he does. That is part of who he is, but it's also something he does. And yeah, I don't have any other comparison for it. And then some of the biggest cliches, I think, are around the assumptions that Christian leaders have it all together, that they don't make mistakes, that they somehow have some kind of spiritual superpower that means that they find spiritual life easier than everyone else. And it's not true. It's just not true. All Christian leaders are human beings. Well, I haven't met any that isn't.
Are you
yet.
sure? Because I don't know.
Maybe, Giles. Maybe I just haven't met them yet. But those are the biggest cliches, I think.
Awesome sauce. Emma, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to interview you today.
Thanks, Giles.